It is the thorny fanflower bush. That's what I call it anyway. Thorny fanflower bush, and it's end of April. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about grass, I'm here to talk about gold mining. As a geologist, one of the most common questions from prospectors is, what kind of rock do I look for to find gold? Well, that is not a valid question, because gold does not pick and choose rocks. Gold occurs in the Earth's crust through certain processes, and those processes involve most of all, I guess, permeability for the gold fluids to come up through rocks of various types. That permeability is provided by generally fractures. In other instances it might be some kind of inherent porosity, etc. But generally the most important thing about looking for gold is to understand structures, veins, faults, shear zones, that sort of thing. And I'll just familiarise you, seeing I'm here, familiarise you with what a shear zone is. If you look down here, now purposefully I'm going to face north. If you look down there, you will see some foliated rocks. Foliated. They all have a foliation in a certain direction, in this case being northwest, southeast. So if I face north, it's roughly like that. There you go, you can see that foliation. You can see it over there. Right across this road there's a bit of an exposure of foliated rocks. The important thing to notice is that the macro structures, in other words the local structures on, let's say, the 2, 3, 4 kilometre scale, are actually reflected in outcrop structure. So if you're looking at like this this shear zone here, you will see the shear zone is northwesterly, southeasterly, and then you will notice some fractures which are northeasterly across there. That's an important observation, because this smaller scale picture here is reflected in a much larger picture. In other words, if you zoom in, the microstructures reflect the outcrop structure, and a kind of, I guess, airplane view of the whole thing would reflect structural detail similar to what you can see here. So we have a shear zone which is northwesterly, southeasterly, and we have some look like brittle fractures which are northeasterly, southwesterly. That's an important thing in this area, because I'm going to show you a gold prospect which I found not far from here, just over there in fact, through there, which is hosted by this northwesterly, southeasterly shear zone. So we're going to go over there and have a look. This is the place I'm talking about. It's a new a gold prospect found in a northwesterly, southeasterly shear. It consists of a number of quartz veins in a schistose rock. I'll just show you what I mean by schistose. There's some quartz veins there. They're gold bearing veins. Have I got that? Yep, there we go. They're the ones that are found in this hole. I think it's 2 meters deep. You've probably seen it in some of my other videos. These are the foliated rocks. You can see the foliation in these. There you go, you can see the foliation direction that way. Just put that there. There we go, foliated that way. You can see the planes of foliation. And so how did I find this? So I found it using a gold detector. Actually right around here I found a number of pieces of gold which I'll show you later. They were all very rough. In other words, you can see the little bronze-winged pigeon there. Rough bits of gold with sharp edges, slightly smoothed over, and sticking to some ironstone, black looking ironstone, which I'm sure you've all seen before. So rough bits of gold, obviously not moved very much. They were just found around this area here, 3, 4, 5 pieces. The area had been detected before. Someone had got a lot of gold here. I know years ago, just over there, a massive specimen of gold was found by an Aboriginal prospector. I'll think of his name. And so we found rough bits of gold here, and as I moved down slope I found the biggest piece was 5 grams, obviously missed by others, and there's sort of a spot where I found, I usually mark them like that, so there's one there, there's another one here. So if you look at that one there, another one there, the mine shaft is just above upslope, and you move down and there's others I found. So there's another spot just here. Try and see in this camera, see those stones there. I think another one over here somewhere. Just see this camera just there. Oh. And then one over there. And those up there leading up slope to the mine. So rough bits of gold up the top end where the mine shaft is, where the hole is at the moment, and little pieces getting smoother and smoother as they come down here. And I think I've just down here I found a beautiful flat 5 gram piece just sitting on top of the surface, or just below the surface silt. I thought it was a bit of junk, but anyway, it's amazing what you can find even though the area was thrashed. The new gold detectors, or the latest gold detectors, and I'm not here to talk about detectors, but they're pretty good if you know how to use them, and they'll find very small pieces of gold that other people have missed. So let's talk about this area. After finding the gold here, I set about loaming. First of all, took a few samples of surface material, just the very top, panned it in a small dish, and yes, I found generally from below this area here, I'd found not very much gold. It was like 1 or 2 very, very fine particles of gold, very fine. I mean something like flour gold. They were reddish specks, and that is actually what's called loam gold. We're not looking for big pieces of gold or gram bits when you're loaming. You're looking for that fine flowery gold that's actually coming out of the source and being washed down slope, and that's exactly what happened here. Following these 1, 2, 3 specks up along this very slight rise, going back to the original spot where I found the bigger rough bits of gold, which are just here where the hole is now. I was able to loam onto an area, or zoom into an area which was producing more colours in the pan. For every pan I think I was getting something like 5 or 6 colours, and then eventually by more detailed gridding and taking samples, and I'm talking about only about 10-20 metres across here, like that, and round about where the hole is now, I was getting the best loam, the best dish of gold was about, I think, 30, 35 35 specks of very, very fine flour gold, loam gold. And then by scraping, clearing the surface and scraping around on this whitish cap rock, it's not so white here, but scraping on this material just with the blade of the pick like that, scraping the material, but over here obviously, and it is whitish up here. So just about here I was able to locate the source of the gold, and the number of colors was like something like 70-80 colors. And the most important thing is, when I started digging into this, into the cap rock, I think I was about here, so I'll show you that. So when I started digging into this material here, right there, actually you can see the foliated rocks heading down into the hole, I started getting a nice tail of gold, which was about, let's say, about 1 centimeter long in the pan. And therefore I knew that the gold was actually what we call going down into the ground, and I was actually getting more colors going into the ground than on the surface. I knew I was onto it. So this find was a classic example of knowing what kind of gold you have when you're detecting. Rough gold indicates the source is very close, generally. My experience from finding other sources of gold in the past are that it does not take a very great distance for the gold to move from the source to start to get rounded. It's amazing actually that within 1 meter to 2 meters from the source, the gold nuggets in some cases will get quite smooth. And I have found another patch a few kilometers from here, which was a classic example of that. Gold moving only 1 to 2 meters. You could see the smoothness of it, and as you move closer to the actual source, and the actual source was a block of quartz with 120 ounces of gold, all rough and prickly. And yet 2 meters away the gold was quite smooth. So it's amazing how, you know, very little distance of movement can produce smooth gold. Here it was a little bit different, I guess, because the gold was stuck to the ironstone, and it was remaining much more rougher for a greater distance. I think it took about from about here to the hole, which is about what, 10-12 meters, before it was starting to get smooth. And the nugget that I found down there, that was very smooth, but that's already 35 meters away. So I'm going to use this prospect for a bunch of videos to show you how we go from discovery to actually finding down. Now I haven't found the patch of gold in here yet. The gold showing in the quartz, and here's the quartz out of the hole. There's quite a bit of gold in it, but we're looking for solid gold. In other words, patches forming in this in these gold veins. Now I'm sure they're there. It's just going to take perseverance to find them, and because this is a new find and we're still going to proceed with it, I hope to lead you through these videos right to the discovery of hopefully kilos of gold. Well, you might laugh, but we have done it before, so it's nothing new. And you know, in these days, you know, I hear lots of people finding a little nugget here, nugget there, but if you're serious about this business, unless you're getting kilos of gold, well, you're just running a hobby farm. And that's fair enough for most people. The excitement is not all in the gold, it's being out here and living a healthy life. And it's certainly looking beautiful today. I'll sign off here and I'll continue with the structural talks. I think it's very important for this area. and then we'll actually clear off some of this, expand this hole, and then try and locate the source. Try and locate the actual patch of solid gold. Right, have a great day. Now just here I have the, well, I have how many is that? 4 pieces of gold, 4 little nuggets, which were found at the recent discovery, or what led to the recent discovery of quartz vein gold. These 4 little nuggets here are an example of the rough texture of the surface of this gold. I don't know if you can appreciate that there. They're very small, what I've kept, but I kept them specifically for this purpose, to be able to show you the roughness of it. I'll try and pick one up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. The texture of the little dimpling on it, and the ironstone. Oh, my hands are shaking. So you can see the back of that one, there's still ironstone on it, very rough. You can see around the edges of the middle one there, the roughness of it. And they're the kind of things you should be aware of, indicating that the source of the gold is very close. In this case, it was indeed the case, and we ended up finding the new prospect. And I'm going to lead you through all the process as we go deeper in that hole, and hopefully find some decent bunch of gold. It's another beautiful day, no doubt about it.